Hello, welcome to Lee's Magic and Witchery Tales, Tarot, and Spirit. My name is Dria The Medium, and in tonight's episode, we will be doing a honey break and ghost story. The story this time around actually revolves around a location I frequent regularly, not only for work but also as a guest. And I wanted to talk about this because we did just do the investigation at the beginning of November and we did get it posted on YouTube. But there were a lot of things I forgot to mention. To be fair, it was my first investigation. As somebody who has been working with the dead for some time, my primary haunts tend to be cemeteries, only because I don't know what the process is in order to begin investigating locations like abandoned places or haunted homes. And that's on me. We did get the opportunity to work with the owner of District Elleve and plan this night out. We do have a second investigation that we plan on doing, but we're currently waiting on a few tools in order to help us navigate that better. With that being said, we're going to do a honey break real quick, and then when we come back, we're going to jump into the location, District Elleve, and discuss what happens there. I find it completely intriguing. I've heard similar testimonies to mine and went, gotta be connected. There's no other way. So yeah, with that being said, let's do a honey break, and we'll jump right into this. Alright, now that honey break is done, we can jump right in. So, I want to discuss this because before I ever picked up a spirit box or decided to break out cameras, pendulums, and even ask questions, District Elleve, the building itself, had already started to talk to me. It was quite interesting the way things started to pick up. And this episode is pretty much about why I listened, because when places get loud, it's important to take a step back and actually listen to why they're getting loud and why they want to discuss things. So, District Elleve itself is known as a speakeasy now, but in past, the building itself really did have a lot of lives. It once stored meats, mink furs. It became an overflow facility for the Pioneers Museum when it functioned as a jail and a courthouse. So you have confinement, storage, judgment, waiting, and nothing about that history really is light. And none of it's finished either. It's a lot of wishy-washy energy that comes from many different environments. So it's a melting pot of really interesting things, so to speak. But what's even more unique is the owner thrifts a lot of the decor for District Elleve, so you also get a little sprinkle of spirits coming from estate sales and item attached spirits. It's quite fascinating, so to speak. But the first thing I really noticed was a lot of the activity really wasn't visual, it was more sound-based. I have it on video, I've posted it before, but the music would turn itself on and off without warning. It wasn't in just one place either. It was happening from room to room, and I mean, there are some theories that we did use to debunk part of it. But we also figured out through debunking that some things are spiritual, whereas some things weren't. This place is mind-blowing. I absolutely love it. So we also noticed, I noticed, it felt like things were moving. I would catch shadows out of the corner of my eyes, shuffling from room to room, almost like somebody was patrolling the place, somebody was paying attention to what was going on, and it wasn't those quick flickers of, oh, maybe my brain's playing tricks on me. It wasn't the whole, oh, maybe my eyes just aren't working that well tonight. It was full form shadows walking from one area of the building to the next. When I was sitting with one of the barbacks, we were discussing something, and I just watched something walk past us, and he stopped talking. It was like, hey, did you see that too? And I'm like, yeah, they walked right behind me. And I personally thought it was maybe one of the other servers. We were waiting for one of the other restaurants to close, and we chalked it up to, okay, the spirits are just being super active right now. And they always have direction and intent. They're constantly going to and from like they're supposed to do, almost as if there's a routine, a job that they're doing. And mind you, there's more than one spirit in this building. This is a building that houses at minimum 10 spirits at a time. And on top of it, you also have this room within the bar called Barnacles. That's where you hear a lot of discussion and mumbling, and it feels almost like that area is crowded. And I had to stop doing tarot readings in this area because they were genuinely interrupting things and making it a little bit difficult for me to get the proper messages across because they wanted to be heard, but for some reason this one space was the only place that they could actually communicate. Now, when we did our investigation, we didn't get a chance to work in Barnacles because they were in the process of doing some deep cleaning, getting some things redone, moved around. I mean, it was chaos, so I didn't want to take my blind self into that room and chance tripping over anything. But that's also why we're doing the second investigation soon. But it's fascinating because you know there are people who want to be heard. You know there are spirits who want to be seen. But the energy in District 11 really isn't consistent. It definitely changes depending on where you are in this place, where you stand, where you sit, who's bothering you at that point. There's Kirk, who was an electrician, and he plays with the lights throughout District 11. You know he's there because they'll swap out things if needed, and they're fully charged, and it just immediately dies. Kirk's fantastic, though. However, there's this, oh god, energy that kind of hits you all at once. Heavy, pressing, overwhelming sensation. Anxiety-ridden almost. Like, this one energy in there is just, I'm not a fan of them. Employees and patrons alike have reported things like sudden headaches, increased anxiety attacks when this energy is around, and a weird feeling of needing to leave immediately, even when quite obviously nothing was wrong, nothing is going wrong. It's just this weird, disgusting flow of things that it pushes you out when it wants you out. Those experiences mattered to me, though, especially walking into the investigation, because when we finally conducted it, those same sensations showed up, not only through spirit box sessions, but we also encountered a very fear-based presence, very territorial, very unwelcoming. They didn't want us in there, and they weren't subtle about it either, and that explained something else. It explained why our investigation was so quiet. Outside of some pendulum work and spirit box communication, the building itself didn't give much evidence. I think we heard one thing, like a loud noise after we asked for it, but it was so subtle at the same time that I didn't even catch it until I was going over all of the footage. There were no big moments, though. No theatrics, no nothing. It was very quiet, very guardful, the kind that feels very intentional. And it's interesting because not every spirit in that building wants to be seen. Not every spirit wants you to explore. And some places really do endure. And District 11, I think, is one of them because you have so many spirits coming in and out of there because it's a transition place that you never know what you're going to encounter. So, with that being said, if you do want to watch the full investigation and see what exactly we encountered, I invite you to watch it. It's on YouTube. My handle is Dria The Medium, and I'll let you decide for yourself what you think haunts District, because I'm still at a loss. I have conversations with spirits on a regular basis in there. They come and go, so I can't totally pinpoint who causes what outside of Kirk and his electricity fascination. We love him. We love Kirk. But the spirit that we encountered that night, it makes me want to go back and do another investigation because it was so adamant about us not getting anything. It felt like we were being mocked. The tools we did take, mind you, I'm more of a simplicity is best, so I don't have a REM pod. I would love a REM pod. I don't have the bell that goes off when they walk around it. I don't have anything like that. Instead, I use easy touch toys and things like that. And while we were doing pendulum sessions, they're like, we're not going to use that because it's childish. And now, I do believe that if we were in a different environment, like a child's room or the children's hospital, then we would get those separate responses. In this moment, they were sick of me. I truly think they were sick of me. And this one specific spirit just wanted nothing to do with us, which is okay. We did catch that on camera. We caught a couple things on camera that really made me go, oh my God, I want to do this more. And with that being said, I do hope to have more experiences in District 11. I do hope to get to know the spirits more. And I really do want to bring those experiences to you guys because I think not only will it be helpful to learn how different spirits act and different spirits work, but it also shows how transitional places can really stir up things. But thank you for being here, and I'm excited. I'm excited for you to see the YouTube video. I'm excited to do the second investigation, and I'm excited to get some more content up. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking around. I will see you next time.